Well, here on Tyler's back with Retro Reviews here on Tyler's Retro Reviews with not only the second to last WCW period we do in 2000. Next week is Starcade, so you obviously know. But the last WCW Mayhem ever that took place. So we have one more period next week in the year 2000. That's Starcade. Again, how the hell did I start this year doing WCW 2000 reviews again? Well, I already did Spring Stampede and Bash to the Beach prior to this, so yeah. Anyways, November 26th, it was at the U.S. Civilian Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and yeah. So, I mean, compared this to last year's Mayhem, yeah. It was just a blah event, but again, it was not as bad as, New Blood Rising or the Great American Bash, but still. Yeah, and the promotional work they did, you could tell the Scott Steiner was winning the WCW Championship in the main event. So yeah. Regardless, let's talk about all this and moving on from that. Saturday we got my Saturday's main event review, obviously. And then I might do Mortal Kombat Mafalsi Sub-Zero some point later, but yeah. And then you see the final showdown of 2025 and the first United of a week from Saturday, and then there'll be the brand split and also the two more retro reviews also. So there's that. But Thursday we're doing stuff in the UK, but it wasn't like a 2-week thing like it did in Australia before Halloween Havoc and all that. They did a Germany show called the Millennium Final, which you will not find on it. So yeah. And this product was so fucking cold at this point. Like, cold. But, yeah. Anyways, we start out for this event for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. Beyond boring, Mike Sanders defeats Kiwi to retain the Cruiserweight Championship. You got a shitload of run-ins, and how the fuck did the referee not see the blatant interferences in this match? Because he was distracted like that, and then Man comes in and gives one of the two members the tongue death grip, and all I gotta say is look at Man in November 2000. 2 months from now, he's in, I don't know if it's Royal Rumble 2001, and that's all I have to say. Then Ric Flair comes out and tells everyone to piss off, basically, and yeah, boring as fuck. It was a pretty awful match, also. You had a 2. Anyways, then we had a triple threat tag match between, 3 count, but before I get to it, 3 count and the others are going to kick out their weakest members, so it's Evan Courageous and Jimmy Noble. So, shouldn't they be more counted as 2 count more? Yeah, I'll call them for now. Until next week, that is. Defeats Evan Courageous and Jimmy Noble and the Young Dragons in honestly, it was a damn good triple threat tag match in. And, yeah. Yeah, I give it not as good as their Starcade match, but still, I give it a 7 out of 10. Then we get Mankind defeating Jimmy Hart. They did this at Spring Stampede back in April, so why not do this again? Why? All I gotta say is at least this match was short. That's all I have to say. 0. Moving on. Then we had a hardcore match for the WCW Hardcore Championship. Crowbar defeats Big Vito and Reno to basically retain the Hardcore title. So Crowbar won the Hardcore title like some point before this pay-per-view. I think it was like after Halloween Havoc or something. A week or something after that. And yeah. He's now a 70 guy also. A disciple from Mike Gossel, which we'll get to him in a moment. Also, this is going to lead to the match with Terry Funk next week for Starrcade 2000. Stay tuned next week for that. Yeah. 6 out of 10 I'll give it. It was okay. Then we got a handicap match. This was supposed to be the 3 Filthy Animals members of Billy Kidman, Conan, and Rey Mysterio versus the Boogie Knights, which Alex Wright, by the way, won the WCW tag titles at the Millennium Final, but then lost them like the go home before this, and also him and Disco got their ass kicked by Goldberg in the UK. So there's that. But then now it's Billy Kidman and Rey Mysterio defeating Chronic and Alex Wright in this match because Disco Inferno was tell them you got like what 7 minutes to do this match, and if the 7 minutes are up, they leave, which. Yeah, the 7 minutes were up, Chronic decided to leave, and Alex Wright got his ass kicked, and 5 out of 10 I'll give it. So yeah. Anyways, then Ernest Miller defeats Shane Douglas. This started at Halloween Havoc, where Shane Douglas cost Ernest Miller his commissioner's spot in that terrible, god-awful kickboxing match. And yeah. This was what it was, really. 3. Now, the next match was supposed to be Bam Bam Bigelow versus Mike Awesome, but then Bigelow attacks Mike Awesome like earlier in the night, and Sergeant AWOL comes to help Mike Awesome, and then it's Bam Bam Bigelow versus Sergeant AWOL, and Bam Bam Bigelow won this match, defeating Sergeant AWOL. Also, there was like a laser hype package. Why? Yeah, and Bam Bam Bigelow was teasing a neck injury in this. I give it a 2 because in the next match for the United States Championship, which Lance Storm won the title back like a week before because Major Guns turned on General Erection, so typical WCW bullshit. General Erection defeats Lance Storm to win back the U.S. title, so what was the fucking point of that, really? When General Erection made his entrance, Bigelow attacks him, and that led to nowhere. Literally, because General Erection was going to feud with Shane Douglas for Starrcade. What was the point of that? Really? A 5 out of 10, I'll give it. Then we get Jeff Jarrett defeating Buff Bagwell. Throughout this night, Bagwell destroys some of Jarrett's Slapnuts guitars. Let the Jarrett go on another Slapnuts guitar underneath the ring and won that. Really? Really? That's... Again, what the fuck was WCW at this point? Yeah, 4 out of 10. Yeah. We're almost done. We're almost done. Last three, finally. There's 12 fucking matches, by the way. Again, I go back to this. For the WCW World Tag Team Championships, the Insiders of Diamond Dallas Page and Kevin Nash defeats the Purge event of Chuck Palumbo and Sean Stasiak. Where all the Natural Born Thriller members were playing security, but then Ric Flair tells them to go back or whatever, and this led to Nash pinning, I want to say it was Sean Stasiak. Yeah, he was not the legal man, so this led into the match at Starrcade where that happened, and yeah, a good match, but yeah, I give it a 7 out of 10. Good match. Then Goldberg defeats Lex Luger in another career streak match. Vince Russo is gone at this point, right? Why couldn't Ric Flair just drop this storyline? Well, nope. We all know where this is going to lead to. And I'm not looking forward to that. Yet. But not now. So yeah. Goldberg won. Luger was just there at this point. It was what it was, really. I get a 5 out of 10. Goldberg speared like Luger, and he used referee Mickey J as a shield to make sure Goldberg does not spear, which he speared them both, and then Goldberg just jackhammers him. Another referee, Slick Johnson, comes in. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, that was it. This, of course, led to the rematch of Starrcade also, so yeah. And then finally get the main event, a straight Jackie Cage Heat match, which is just a hell of so much, but they can't because of copyright infringement. Scott Steiner defeats Booker T by technical submission to win the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, this was a good match. So Scott Steiner basically again, the commercial was so funny where they said WCW has censored Scott Steiner. Now the genetic freak is unleashed or something like that. The promotional work, all that. You could tell Scott Steiner was winning the title here. And he did. The straight jacket was pointless anyway, so there's that. Steiner hits him with a chair shot, then pushes him into the Steiner recliner. Booker T passes out. Steve Ray says, don't stop this match, but it was too late anyways. Scott Steiner won the WCW Championship. He will become the longest world title run. This will be the final time the WCW Championship changed hands from here to the final Nitro. And yeah, Scott Steiner also was a bad winner and beats up Booker T afterwards, and he creams poor Slick Johnson with the steel chair. Still, it was a solid main event, but the straight jacket was unnecessary, really. I give it a 6.5 out of 10. Yeah. Mayhem 2000. 4 out of 10 I'll give it. So yeah, next week, like I said, WCW Starrcade 2000. I got all the WCW periods in 2000 done with. Why did I do it? I don't know why. But that's that, and then I'll do my Saturday's main event review Saturday, and we're not from there. So like this video, comment below, subscribe to this channel, notification bell, as well as my main channel also, so you can see all those also. So I'm done for the night, and there. Bye-bye.